The Laws of Ascension, Chapter 38, Enlightenment. Lorik and Rowan walk to the garden they first met at. There they sit at one of the 3 tables under the gazebo. There are other students walking around the garden, but not sitting with them under the gazebo. This is a popular place with the students, but since it's early and the last day of the Founders Festival, not many students are here. "So why'd you bring me here?" Lorik asks as they sit down. "I'd like your help with something," Rowan replies before pausing. "What is it?" Lorik asks after a few moments. "I need help comprehending my law. I know you comprehend a different law, and you can't teach this to others, but I'd like some advice about it." Rowan replies, surprising Lorik. "All right, so what's the problem?" "It's my law of power. I've comprehended my fire and earth laws to where I'd be able to 6th tier. But since my power law is only 8 tier, I'm stuck here. It's like there's a wall that I just can't get over." Rowan replies, "How do you comprehend your power law?" Lorik asks, causing Rowan to hold out his arm. "I imagine the law of power moving through my muscles and enhancing them. Aye-all," Rowan says before Lorik holds his hand up. "What about your bones and blood vessels?" Lorik asks. "What about them?" Rowan replies, confused. "You've done weight training before, right? Like using barbells and dumbbells?" Lorik asks, causing Rowan to nod. "All right, then imagine the weights on your barbell as your muscles. Meanwhile, the barbell is your bones and blood vessels. When you enhance your muscles with your power law, you add more weight to the barbell. But if you don't enhance the barbell, it'll eventually snap under the added weight. So if you don't enhance your bones and blood vessels, you won't be able to continue enhancing your muscles." Lorik explains, causing Rowan to look down in thought. "Really? But how can enhancing them increase power?" he says, thinking aloud. "Rowan, when you throw a punch, do you only use your muscles?" "No. While they're important, they aren't the only part of your body that moves. Besides, if your bones can't handle your increased strength, they just break every time you punch, kick, or the like." Lorik says, causing Rowan to nod. He looks down at his hands for a moment before a faint white light fills his eyes. Bright white mist pours off his body before disappearing a few inches away. An unusual and unique aura comes off him and fills the garden, getting everyone's attention. This aura is so strong that even lesser mages with the weakest senses can feel it. "I can't believe his grades are this bad," Cyrilda says while tossing a piece of paper onto a grand desk. The room she's in is covered wall to wall with bookshelves full of books. The floor is scattered with paper and more books. I did warn you to be prepared. Fortunately for Lorik, he can't be expelled for his bad grades here, though I will be talking to him about them. Headmaster Arlen says with a laugh. He's sitting at the desk in front of Cyrilda. "But he'll be fine to leave the academy for a month, right?" Cyrilda asks, causing him to nod. "Are you sure about doing this? He might be skilled, but what you have in store might be a bit much even for him." Arlen replies before the both of them go wide-eyed. Arlen jumps out of his seat as they both feel a unique aura. "Someone's achieved enlightenment," Cyrilda says quietly, her voice full of shock. "We'll come back to this later. I have to go ensure this person remains undisturbed," Arlen says before walking over to a window. He opens it and jumps out. Cyrilda does the same and follows after him. Since both of them are grand mages and can freely manipulate their aura, they use airwalk. Airwalk is a technique grand mages are capable of using. It involves solidifying one's aura underneath their feet in the air. This creates small platforms that they can stand on. However, since the platform is made of their aura, only they can come into contact with it. Even their shoes pass through it, as the aura presses against their bare feet. The two run through the air toward the garden, where the unique aura is coming from. There they see Lorik and Rowan beneath the gazebo. Lorik turns to face them as soon as they drop in the center of the garden. "Master, Headmaster, what are you doing here?" Lorik asks while getting up. It's been less than a minute since Rowan entered this state. "We sensed someone entered an enlightened state. We came to see who and ensure they remain undisturbed." Headmaster Arlen explains. "What's an enlightened state?" Lorik asks as Cyrilda steps forward. "Hold that thought," she says before reaching out. The space around Rowan changes, and a reflective dome appears around him. The dome is see-through, and after a moment, the reflectiveness disappears. The aura coming off him fades away, as the barrier Cyrilda placed around him blocks aura. What was Rowan doing before this happened? Headmaster Arlen asks. We were talking about his power law. He asked for some advice about it. While we were talking, this happened. Lorik replies. Then it sounds like Rowan might be in your debt after this, Cyrilda says. How so? What's going on? Lorik asks. Rowan entered what we call an enlightened state. This state is like a dream to all mages. During it, one's soul gets flooded with insights about their laws. What's more, it becomes incredibly easy to decipher these insights and sort them. It's not uncommon to jump 2 to 3 levels from it. However, entering this state is seemingly up to luck and talent. Mages mostly enter it when they hit some kind of a realization, but sometimes it's at seemingly random. The greater a mage's talent, the longer the state will last and the more benefits they'll receive from it. Headmaster Arlen replies, What's more, it's the perfect way to fuse laws. Almost everyone who's attained enlightenment with laws that can fuse comes out at a higher level with their fused laws. With some luck, his fire and earth law will evolve into the magma law. Cyrilda adds. How long will the enlightenment last? Lorik asks. No idea. It usually lasts for anywhere from 1 to 10 hours. But it does have some side effects. All this will take its toll on his soul, so he'll pass out once it's over. For the next few days, he'll be feeling tired too. But given what benefits it brings, that's hardly a problem. If anything, he'll be happy. Not only will his level improve, but he'll get out of the Founders Festival. Cyrilda says with a laugh. It's also important to be left alone in this state. If anyone disturbs him, he'll get kicked out of this state. That's why Cyrilda and I came rushing here once we sensed what was happening. Arlen says. Right. Now you two can go back. I'll stick around to keep an eye on Rowan. Arlen, could you go ahead and tell Lorik about his trip since I might not have the time later? Cyrilda asks. Sure. Come along, Lorik. Headmaster Arlen says before turning and walking away. The students that had been in the garden earlier had crowded around the gazebo. They listened in on the conversation, and other students were coming from outside. News spreads about enlightenment and Rowan obtaining it among the freshman fast. By the time Lorik and Headmaster Arlen reach his office, almost half the academies heard of it. Headmaster Arlen's office is at the top of a tower. It's located at the center of the academy. There's only one staircase in the center of the tower. There are only 2 floors, the ground floor and the top. The walls of the ground floor are covered in paintings. The paintings are of the previous headmasters, accomplished students, and even some professors. The top is the headmaster's office. There's no door. Instead, the stairs lead straight to the office. What did Master mean when she said I had a trip? Lorik asks once they're in the office. The headmaster sits at his desk before replying. Your master plans to teleport you two to Evergreen Woods, but she'll be teleporting you near the middle of the forest. Not the deep area, but the middle layer. It's a place that's safe for lesser mages who are 5th tier or higher. You may only be 6th tier, but your skills are well above that. Not to mention your law is of the 1st echelon, so you should be fine. Still, she'll be giving you a small device first. It'll have a button on it, and if you push it, she'll teleport to your location. So make sure to keep your communications bracelet on at all times. You'll be in the forest for a month, but if you feel the need to return sooner, you can message your master. But you should start getting prepared. You can bring your storage rings so you don't have to worry about food, the headmaster explains. All right, thank you, headmaster, Lorik says before turning and walking down the stairs. I should return home first. I can grab a few things there before heading to the stores. Actually, are they still open? Lorik thinks as he descends the steps. He leaves the academy and returns to his house. He enters the kitchen and opens the pantry. There's only a handful of boxes and cans, but he stores them all in his ring. He then turns around and gets ready to leave. The fridge and freezer are both empty, and it's not even plugged in. Before leaving, he turns around and stares at the couch. Lorik sighs before walking over and pulling the 2 boxes underneath out. I think Master's on to me. She was asking a lot of questions. He says before sighing again, better safe than sorry. He adds while storing the 2 boxes in his ring. Once they're gone, he leaves and walks to the markets. As expected, most of the stores are closed. He manages to find a few still open and buys the food he needs. He doesn't have enough to cover the entire month, but he gets enough for 2 weeks. He'll hunt for the rest he needs. Maybe I should have kept more than a few hundred for my expenses? No, I can just sell some potions to the academy or something. Lorik thinks while returning to the academy. He enters the dorm and finds Vera inside. "Welcome back," she shouts as he enters. She's in the living room, and there's a small roar following her shout. Lorik pauses upon hearing it before walking into the living room. Vera's sitting on the couch, staring at the table. On the table is a small creature eating a pile of raw meat off a plate. It's covered in dark red scales and has a long tail. It has 2 back legs, and its front legs are its wings. Its eyes are blue, and its attention is focused on the food in front of it. It's only 1.5 feet tall, but 3 feet long.